at least right now. HawkFanatic.com is brought to you by Patrick Eads and his staff at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for cars. GT Car and his crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurants, Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dream Sports Academy. Senior Benefits, Premier Automotive in North Liberty. Dirk Sterner Taxidermy. The Ox Yoke Inn in the Amanas. Streets Maintenance, Remodeling, and Plumbing. Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. And Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here's Tom Suter and Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com.
And we're ready to break down from a fantastic weekend of Hawkeye basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
What a great week of Hawkeye sports when you think about it.
Yeah.
Starts with the bowl game loss. Then you have the Wisconsin three-point debacle.
Wasn't good.
And then you have, I guess there was the win over New Hampshire, right?
Yes.
Well, long live New Hampshire. No, last night was, you dig that deep of a hole against a really good team.
You can't win.
You can't do that.
No.
They made a nice spirited comeback, which I thought they would. I didn't think they'd get it down to 5 twice, but in the fourth quarter. But, I mean, Maryland got tight. And I think Maryland at the end was playing not to lose. I think Brenda just wanted to get the hell out of here.
And I think part of the difference between the two games, the men's game with Wisconsin kept making all of their shots.
And Maryland didn't.
And Maryland took some, part of that was defensive intensity.
And I thought Maryland took some bad shots in the second half.
They did.
Yeah, but whenever Iowa got within real striking distance, Maryland had an answer and came out of here. They're 14-0 and nice win. Brenda said some nice things about Lisa. It was the event at halftime was cool, the way they honored Lisa, players coming back. But that, to me, probably motivated Maryland, too. I guarantee you Brenda Freeze had that team letting them know there's going to be nothing sweeter than coming in here and ruining this thing, it doesn't take away from the moment at halftime. I thought the neatest thing the whole night was when Megan Gustafson said, when they interviewed her, that she made better people than basketball players or something. That was a pretty. I got it written down, but it was basically that. That's pretty telling. That was a lot of the emphasis with Lisa was the fact that it was so much more than what she did for us off the court. But neat moment, and does make me wonder if they scheduled it for Maryland, thinking it would provide that boost to get over the hump. Or did they make a mistake scheduling it in a game where they had a really risk of losing?
And
if it was you, would you have done it with a team that they had a much better, I don't know, who's the worst women's team in the Big Ten?
Gosh, that's hard to say. Rutgers is
Wisconsin's pretty bad, aren't
they? Well, they got one really good player. Sarah Williams is really good.
Okay, but they're still, as a team, they're pretty bad.
They're pretty bad.
I saw them on earlier this year.
Northwestern's not very good.
Okay, but I give them credit for saying, hey, no, we're going to schedule Maryland, and we're going to hopefully use this to get over the hump and beat them. But
well, it didn't work.
It did not work.
And then, so now what do we got with the Caitlin Clark game on February 2nd? They have a patsy coming in, one of the best teams in the country, USC. But, hey, if we played like we can win that game, but we got to play 40 minutes and not 20.
Yeah, and without question, they can't. Do you think they will win that game?
Mm-mm.
I don't either.
I didn't think we were going to beat Maryland, but
no,
I also didn't think I was going to see a first half like I saw.
No, and the first half is sort of perplexing because they do have some key veteran players, but their problem is turnovers. In their 3 losses, they've committed 74 turnovers, and I'm sticking to what I've been saying. It's the Caitlin effect because so many more people now are handling the ball way more than they have in previous years because Caitlin always had the ball. Even when Gabby and Kate had the ball, it was for short spurts.
Yeah.
Caitlin would get them the ball, they'd do their thing, dump it off and shoot. Caitlin was consuming the ball. She absorbed turnovers for the teams. There were times where Caitlin would have 7 or 8 turnovers, but it didn't matter because the team had not that many because she had a ball. But now they're still figuring out how to handle the ball without Caitlin. And I don't think it's time to overreact or change the starting lineup and make these big sweeping changes. I don't think you need that. You're 12-3. You're 2-2. Now you need to go. They have a game in Illinois. They need to win this game.
And that's a tough game.
These are the kind of games, if you're going to be a true contender, you got to win these types of games.
Yes.
And so we'll see. But I don't think it's time to panic. They got to get the turnovers fixed. They got to get these post-entry passes corrected. That's another Caitlin thing we were talking about. They're bad at it, but who threw most of their post-entry passes? Caitlin.
Yeah.
And she threw them in such an incredible way. Monica had great hands, but so many times Caitlin would drop the ball to where all you had to do with your momentum was catch it and just continue your momentum and lay it in the basket because she was great at anticipating angles and everything. They don't have that, and they're adjusting to that. They got spoiled for 4 years.
They did, and we all did.
Yeah.
And then, you said you call it the Caitlin effect. She made everybody so much better.
She did, just like Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the kind of player she was. And I mean, I know some fans. Oh, we can't beat Maryland and the officials. The officials did not win or lose that game.
No, they weren't good. I didn't.
But I thought Maryland had some calls that went against them. That
they did.
Freese was bitching about. But the official narrative is it just gets so old.
No, Maryland deserved to win the game.
I mean, right now, Maryland's a better team.
Oh, sure.
If they played 10 times, Maryland would probably win 7 times. They're just a better team right now. Now, does that mean they're going to be better in March? Not necessarily, but Maryland is a better team. They're way quicker. I mean, they're
way more athletic.
Their quickness and just their ability to get off the floor quicker. There were so many times that poor Maryland center. I mean, she would get rebound after rebound, but then there'd be Iowa players around her. She just kept out jumping everybody. But yeah, and Maryland had a good game plan. They executed, and I mean, it was a wild atmosphere in there. I'm telling you, that place was packed. The driving to the arena was a pain in the ass. Walking through the concourse was annoying, but that's what you want. It's been so long since I've experienced that because I didn't cover the women that much the last 4 years because Susan did. And the men, I'm sorry, the men just rarely draw traffic grid. I mean, I was stuck on Newton Road for 20 minutes. I didn't move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, here we go. This is crazy.
Oh, we will have to give a shout-out to our friend John Murphy
Very
of the
nice
Eagles,
of John.
who sent me a text and saying, do we need to offer to take Pat into the game?
God, it's like I'm some 95-year-old man.
So he doesn't have to.
He heard me whining on the.
He did.
Heard me whining on the radio but I fought through the gridlock. A little complaining.
But that was really nice.
That was very nice
He's
of him.
a nice man.
Now, was he going to wait for me to finish my story and take me home?
I'm not sure.
But no, that was very nice of John. I appreciate that. Oh, and hey, I was talking to Don Patterson. We're going to do our season wrap next week. We figured two more playoff games and a little more time for him to kind of digest the Iowa stuff. And he thought it was going to be next Monday. He just wanted to make sure it wasn't this Monday. So, yeah, we'll have him on because I'm going to probably try to get Adam on either Wednesday or Friday after this big game tomorrow night for the men.
Yeah.
Big game for the men. They got to win this game. And Nebraska, they beat UCLA at home. I did not see that. The Nebraska's, I still don't think they're that good, but hell, maybe they are.
And you hate to say that it's a must.
It's a must. Just say
it's close.
It's a must win.
I put it.
What did Marv Levy say about must wins?
World War II was a must win.
Yeah, that's what he said. He was getting ready for the Super Bowl. He's like, no, guys, World War II was a must win. And that does put it, but I know what you're saying. And then they went and lost 4 straight Super Bowls.
And the way I would put it
that is great.
A little differently is that these are if you're going to make the NCAA tournament,
these are the games that you got to make.
These are the kind of games that you have
to finish 11-9 or 12-8, as opposed to 8-12, 9-11. And if you look, that win over Northwestern's they're 1-3 now. I don't think they're going to be very good. I think they cannot. They're struggling like Iowa sort of is. Boo Buie was to them what Caitlin Clark was to Iowa. Boo Buie was a hell of a player.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he was maybe the best point guard in college basketball last year. He meant so much to them. And did I see Barnharzer got his 2 front teeth knocked out?
Ooh.
They show him driving to the basket and just 2 big white things flying out.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so, yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so they're 1-3 in conference play. So,
what are we, 1-2?
I was 1-2, and they got to win this game tomorrow. I mean, but we say must win. Let's say they lose and then win the next one, and then they're 2-3. Then we're happy again.
Dr. Forbes just texted me, "Way to go!"
He's reaching out. He's reaching out to Northwestern basketball right now. But yeah, you could see him flying onto the floor. I mean,
Now, speaking of Dr. Forbes, believe I was waited on at Ace Hardware by his nephew.
Really?
His nephew works there. He said, "I recognize your voice." He said, "I'm Dr. Forbes' nephew." I believe he said nephew.
Cool.
So that was kind of cool.
He's a good guy. I get him.
Who, the nephew?
The nephew or Dr.
No,
Forbes?
Dr. Forbes.
Right.
You don't like the nephew?
Is the nephew the manager?
No.
There's a nice guy at Ace Hardware that listens to this
The
show.
manager's really
He's always very helpful when I go there.
He is very nice.
He is great.
But no, the nephew is not the manager.
Because I go to Ace Hardware to buy something. When I go in there, I'm there to buy something. I don't go to Ace Hardware to browse. There's usually a reason I'm there.
Honestly, and I hate to. I'm going to do it anyway.
You're going to rip Ace Hardware?
No, not at all. No, guys know what they're looking for when they go into a store. They may buy something extra, but they go into a store for a reason.
Chauvinist.
Women tend to.
Sexist.
Women like to shop. Yeah. They do.
Yeah.
Now, I will say when I go into Hy-Vee to buy groceries for dinner, there's times where I don't know. So am I a woman?
Yes.
There's times where I go up and down those aisles trying to decide what I want to eat.
You are a woman.
Does that make me a woman? What's that woman, I am strong? Who's
Helen Reddy?
Is that Helen Reddy? I'm woman, I am strong.
I am a woman here.
Please tell me you guys didn't like that.
Your
not bad.
Favorite sportscaster.
What's that?
Skip Bayless.
I can't stand the guy, but I don't believe he would offer 1 point. Well, that's like a fourth of his net worth.
He offered one.
Well, allegedly,
hairstylist at Fox Sports, he offered $1.5 million
to have sex.
with him.
And I'm just not sure.
She turned it. So is she suing him for like a lot?
I would imagine.
She can say, "Hey, I could have sex with this guy for $1.5 million, or I can brand him for the freak that he is."
Yeah, and I can't stand him, but I just have a hard time believing that figure. We don't know if it's true or not.
No,
we don't need. And there's some allegations against Joy Taylor that aren't good either. The studio host for Fox. It's not.
Fox is just running rampant with.
It's a cesspool.
Horn dogs. Hello.
Hello. I guess I'm weird because I hate shopping.
Good for you. Me too.
I absolutely hate it. And when I'm watching a ball game, I can't eat. I know a lot of people sit in there and stuff their body the whole game through, but I can't eat. It just gets to me.
I guess I'm somewhere in between. I mean, I don't, when I go to I generally don't get a big thing of popcorn and a tenderloin and a pizza and 3 beers,
Well, I can eat before the game and then after the game. But while the game's going, I can't. The people next to me, my gosh, I'll bet you they spent $100 on food. They were cramming it down. They had little kids with them. They had to keep the kids happy, so they kept stuffing them full of popcorn and whatever they could stuff them, ice cream.
Yeah.
And I thought, why are we wasting our time here? They're not even watching the game. They're trying to keep the kids happy. The kids are bouncing around. They're right next to me, and I gave them a dirty look, and so they moved the kids over so they wouldn't be sitting next to me.
Well,
and
you probably could get a babysitter for half of what they spent in treats.
Well, that could have been, because, man, they were just tons of food, and I thought, oh, brother. I was glad I had my coat in a garbage bag because I was afraid they were going to spill milk pop all over the place.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Well, how fun.
Yeah, that's great. Good crowd.
Okay, guys, well, is it bad driving outdoors, or is it just cold?
No, it's fine. It's just cold.
Just cold.
Well, I hear around there's supposed to be terrible storms around.
Not here.
But not here.
No, that's south of that's Burlington and below.
Okay, well, let's hope the guys can do something tomorrow. I thought if the girls had put two of those halves together, maybe we would have won. Maybe. But then maybe Maryland let up a little bit in the second half, too.
Well, you get ahead by 25 points. That probably is a natural tendency.
Yeah. But, some of those 3-pointers, they just were automatic. They just... even with people guarding them, they just shot them right in there.
Yeah, there you go. And that's part of how they got a 25-point lead.
Yeah. Well, I saw Brenda afterwards and told her hi. So.
Well, you are a better person than I.
Well, I've known her for a long time.
Yeah, well,
so.
no, that's fair enough.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks, Karen.
What would you have done if you saw her, Suter?
I would have challenged her.
Like spit on her?
No.
No, he's not going to spit on her.
Fight her? What would be better for him, to fight her or spit on her? What would you prefer? Punch her or spit on her?
No, he's not going to punch her.
He just said he would challenge her. What does that mean?
I would say retire. Retire, Brenda.
When I hear him say I would challenge her, I think meaning he would get in her face and say, "You want to fight?"
I'd say retire. Oh, she'd take me apart. Brenda would take me apart.
Would you? I'd watch him fight Brenda Freese in the tunnel, wouldn't you?
No, I don't want him to fight.
No.
Well, he said challenge. That's when I see challenge.
Well, but I'm not a fighter. Yeah. I would say retire.
Well, you were a fighter.
What?
You were a fighter.
He's bringing up the McCarney thing again.
2 fights in my life.
Well, it's
you want her to retire because she's a good coach.
Yes, she is.
No, she's got to. And I mean, when she left Minnesota, she knew what she was doing. I mean, I was
she
thinking,
did.
wow, that was quick. She was only there for a year, and if she stayed at Minnesota, they would have won. But much better recruiting base at Maryland.
For sure.
So close to so much talent out there. And
I mean, she turned almost her whole lineup over.
And in fairness, she doesn't have any. She's never had any affiliation with the University of Iowa. I believe she went to Arizona.
Yeah.
Her sister came to Iowa and then left and went to Iowa State and became one of their better players and helped Fennelly. So there's really no love lost between Brenda Freese and Iowa at all.
No, there is not.
She said nice things last night because and I think there's a respect for Lisa and Jan, but they want to beat each other.
Why wouldn't you say nice things?
There's a lot of things that are said nicely in public, but you don't know if that's what they mean.
Well, Brenda didn't enjoy losing the last 3 times to Iowa. I promise you that.
No, but there's a lot of stuff that's said publicly that is not what people mean privately. I'm not saying that's Brenda Freese, but there's a lot of BS that you hear publicly, just lip service crap. But I don't think that was. I think there is a mutual respect, even though they like nothing more than to beat each other. And they've probably had, when you're that competitive, they've probably had issues over the years. But no, I think it was genuine. But no, I've done this a long time. I've heard a bunch of coaches sitting there saying, yeah, right, I believe this, please. But you have to publicly.
What was your second fight?
Neighborhood boy David Nordskow.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at the time, he was an able-bodied young man, but unfortunately, about 10 years later, I think he lost an arm.
Oh.
Not related to the fight.
I'm just amazed that you remember your fights from 60 years ago.
Well, again, there are only 2 of them, so...
So you can take him now?
Probably not.
I never had a fight.
No, I think I would call that one a draw as well because we were fighting, punching and stuff. But then it was time to eat, so we said, well, we'll resume this after dinner, and I don't think we did.
Why were you fighting with a guy that you were going to have dinner with?
No, not have dinner with.
Just there was time for dinner.
There was time for dinner.
Oh, so you guys, hey, I'm going to go home and eat. And
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
So right during the middle of your guys' fight, hey, wait, it's dinner time. That's one of the strangest things I've ever heard.
I think my mom.
Somebody called you?
Yes.
Hey, Tom, quit fighting and come in and eat dinner. Was it one of those?
Yeah. No, she didn't know we were fighting. Time for dinner.
Oh, you just heard her voice even though you were somewhere. Okay, I get it. All right.
Yes.
The closest I ever came is I got a 4th grader. I was in 1st grade, hit me with a chunk of ice on the head. And
yikes.
My mother, it hurt too, and it bled. And my mother saw it and came out and started yelling at the kid. And the mother, his mother intercepted it and started yelling at my mom, and my mom punched her, and she fell on her ass in the snow.
Well, your mom,
and I'm not.
Your mom was not afraid to mix it up, was she?
No.
Either verbally or otherwise, evidently.
No. She knocked her right out her ass.
Well.
So anyway.
So not a good week for Hawkeye athletics.
No, but
at this point,
plenty more opportunities in basketball.
There are.
I mean,
first one's tomorrow night.
The men have 17 more conference games. The women have 14 more conference games. I believe they play 18, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, plenty more opportunities, but that's also more opportunities to struggle, too. So, I mean, the men are going to – Franz, he has a Zoom here in an hour. The men are going to have – I mean, they got to play better defense. That's just it. I think they will. I still think the men are going to win tomorrow, but I think that's partly because I'm just not a true believer in Nebraska yet, and I think home court advantage means a lot. I think it'll make a if this game was in Lincoln tomorrow, I'd pick Nebraska without question.
How many Nebraska fans will be here?
I have no idea. You think there'll be a lot? I don't know.
There might be.
Yeah, I don't. Well, if there is and they're in there, that's, Iowa fans' fault for, I guess, letting the seats be open. But again, you got to give their fans reason to come, and getting boat raced at Wisconsin is not real good motivation to come and watch. That was not a good promo. They did not build any goodwill in that game.
No, they did not.
And that's what they need to do now. They need to give fans a reason to come out.
They needed to come out in the second half like the women did last night, and at least show that they have some pride.
Mm-hmm.
And they did.
The women started playing better defense. I mean, Maryland did miss some open shots. I thought Maryland took a lot of quick shots, and that's what Brenda said too. Maryland just played in that second half like they knew they were going to win no matter what.
Yeah.
It just felt like even when it got down to 5, okay, all right, here, somebody make a basket so we can end this nonsense. That seemed to be their mentality in the second half. I think it helped them in the long run, but I think it hurt them for a while, too. They got very careless with the ball, I thought.
We got it down to 5 or 6 points.
Got it down to 5 twice in the
one time, but Taylor McCabe had a shot.
And
if that had gone in.
That one, and remember, Leah Guyton's 3 that almost went out, but it was so late in the game.
Yeah.
But you're right, McCabe's was big. She was wide open. She just missed it.
The place would have absolutely come apart.
And maybe it got down to 2, then maybe you would have seen Maryland press a little bit more. But yeah, I give them credit for coming back because they could have easily just wilted and came out in the second half and not made any run, but they made a run, and it was a steady, consistent. They just kept chipping away and chipping away and chipping away, but they just couldn't get closer to 5. And, I mean, Jan was really hard on herself last night. I mean, she's talking about how she overreacted on that questionable call in the game. Okay, she may, but she didn't get a technical. I mean,
no.
I think Jan was trying to deflect a little bit from her players, which is what a good head coach will do. But I don't think Jan needed to be that hard on herself. I think Jan's doing fine right now. They're 12-3. I think she's fine. Even if Lisa had stayed, they were going to struggle without Caitlin Clark at times. People.
Absolutely.
I don't think people realize, and yes, Kate Martin, Gabby, them too, but I don't think sometimes people realize what they're trying to replace. And everyone thinks of the logo threes and everything. Yes, they're huge, but I think more of the constant ball handling, the post-entry passes, the fast break passes, hitting people in stride. You don't see Hannah Stokey getting those baskets very much now at all. She's had to adjust her game. She's not getting points in transition. And teams are also coming at her. They're trying to get her into foul trouble. And most of the fouls she got yesterday, I thought were fouls. I really did.
Yeah.
She was out of position. One of them was just a silly. She overplayed it on defense, and she shouldn't have done it. But she's not getting those easy. She used to get 6 to 8 points a game. It seemed like just easy, where Caitlin would throw some phenomenal pass, hit her in stride, she'd make a layup, streaking past her opposing center. She's not getting that this year yet.
No, and Hannah had some very bad layups last night where she had a bad angle.
Bad angle. Too deep into the basket.
Yeah, exactly.
But in fairness, she was the only other player in double figures.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking Addie O'Grady.
No.
Oh, Hannah Stokey. I thought you said Addie. Yes, no, she did bad, but so did Addie O'Grady had bad angles,
too.
They
did, both
because
of them.
A lot of it is where they're catching the entry pass and where that pass is taking them. A lot of time, the momentum from the pass is taking them too deep into the basket and away from the basket and underneath, where Caitlin's always took them right to the basket because it had the perfect angle, timing, everything. Yeah. And they're going to work on that. Jan did say something that I think's right. She needs to put them under more duress in practice. Put them in more scramble type situations, and I think she's going to start doing that. But I think Jan was extra hard on herself last. I just think Jan was so disappointed she didn't win for Lisa.
Uh-huh.
But that's sports. It's going to happen sometimes. Yeah. There's times where we don't have the best shows. I know usually we're up there just at a level that everybody aspires to, right, Captain? But every day like today, we're not. every day, once in a while. And if you notice, I'm just talking out my you-know-what right now. But you know what I mean. You can't – everything's not going to go your way. And if you remember – I don't agree. I got an email from somebody who reached out to me and said, Pat, you call Lisa a legend. She's lucky Gary Barta had patience. And I'm like, what?
Jesus.
So I went back and looked.
Hell said that.
Lisa never had any moment in her time where she was in danger. She had some
losing
stretches where they –
no,
I don't think they – I don't believe they had any – no, they had stretches where they – made the NIT at like 17 and 12 and whatever, but she was never, ever in jeopardy of losing her job. Barta wasn't extra patient with her. I mean, Sam Logic had a great run. Kara Consuegra had a run. Those were all different stretches where they were NCAA caliber teams. She did have some dips where they did make a couple, maybe too many trips to the NIT or what have you, but it was never to the point where
most teams have dips.
But especially if you stay long enough, a quarter century. But let's go, she's just lucky Gary Barta was so patient. I didn't respond to the guy, but that's ridiculous. I mean,
see, that's when I excise my list.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue that Gary Barta's lucky that I'm sure Lisa had some suitors once she started winning pretty consistently here. She could have gotten jobs otherwhere, but she was home. She wanted to coach here. This was her. But the other thing I didn't realize, and I found out from that little documentary they did on her, Lisa scored the first basket at Carver Hawkeye Arena. I had no idea that was the case. Baseline jumper, swish. Yeah, you see that video.
Funny.
That 83, the gym's empty. They're sitting on like folding chairs. And I mean, it's just so amazing how much things have changed. The uniforms they wore back then, the hairstyles. Everyone looked like the Bengals.
And, well, they did.
Yeah.
They were the Bengals.
Yeah. And Manic Monday. Today's Manic Monday. It's just another Manic Monday. Is it?
Yeah, it feels like it.
Do you like that song, Manic Monday?
It's okay.
So do you think Lark Birdsong looked around and said, what the hell? Look at all these people.
Yeah, it's come a long way. It has come a long way.
That's a great name, by the way.
That is a great name, and it's B.Y., right? Now, is Lark Birdsong better than Otis Birdsong? Remember Otis Birdsong?
Yeah.
Star player at Houston in the NBA.
I sure do.
I always like that song. But I still say, well, I mean, some of my, we'll do sports names right now. One of my favorites, of course, is got to be Elvis Peacock. That's a great one. But some of the best Iowa names, how about Shanty Burks? Remember
Shanty
Iowa
Burks
defensive
is a good
back
one.
Shanty Burks? Isn't that a good name?
Yeah.
You like that?
Shanty
Burks. I always. There was a football player that played for a Southwest school. I can't remember his name, but his name was Pepto Bolden. I don't know if he was named after Pepto-Bismol, but his name was Pepto. Then there was another one named
Ecomet.
How about Ecomet Burley? You like that name? It was E-C-O-M-E-T, Burley.
How about God Sham God?
That was a good one. God Sham God was another one. Trying to think of some other good names. Baskerville Holmes. Now, God,
that's a great name.
He's dead, but remember him? Baskerville played at Memphis. That was a good name. I Am Hip. Remember him at Nebraska? Isaiah Moses Hip. That was a good name. So, but all right, I'm off that tangent. Back to the Hawks. What do you think portal-wise? Oh, they got a defensive lineman. People bitching. We've said this. This is what you should. This is what they're going to get. MAC and FCS is probably what they're.
Hey, and if they
pan out, then great. If they don't, then you just accept it and move on. They're getting what they can.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone thought like a starting defensive lineman from Tennessee was going to transfer to Iowa, you're delusional.
Yeah.
Or if a starting wide receiver at Miami or somewhere was going to, that's just not
going to happen at this time.
Not realistic under these circumstances.
No,
it could change, but this Hawthorne kid, he didn't have hardly any offers coming out, and he played well there. And he redshirted his first year, played in 3 games his first year, had 22 tackles last year, was a freshman All-American at that level, and Iowa believes in him. He's 6'5", 285, so
looks like a good risk.
They've added 2 defensive linemen, and they, who knows, they may not pan out, but I will say men's basketball, women's basketball, and football, most of their portal additions have panned out.
Most.
I mean, look at women, of course. Lucy Olson. She's
fantastic.
She's
Molly Davis.
Molly Davis, and if you look at the
Kylie Feuerbach.
Yeah, Kylie Feuerbach. Yeah, and then if you look at the men's. I mean, it started with Bakari Evelyn, even though that was prior to the portal, but he was a great addition. Then, of course, Phillip, Ben Crickey, and I think Drew Thelwell may end up being the best player on this team.
He might very well.
I mean, he was by far the best player. I don't think he's got the most NBA upside. I think that's Josh Dix. But I think Thelwell may end up being the best player. And Seydoux, once he gets, he needs to settle down a little bit on offense and what have you. But no, I think they've done a good job being selective and adding pieces to the portal. So there's reason to be optimistic about these guys, even though they don't fit that. The portal's kind of like recruiting. Getting these guys from these schools is like signing a 2-star.
No, it is recruiting.
It's like signing a 2- and 3-star. No, what I'm saying, though, is it's like the process. It's when you get somebody from North Dakota State or South Dakota State, or it's like getting a 2 or a low 3-star recruit. That's what it is, and fans don't get as excited about that. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way it is. But Iowa does a lot of 2- and 3-star recruiting. A lot of them pan out. Some of them don't. So we'll just have to wait and see. Sam Laporta hardly had any offers coming out, and I watched him block his ass off last night in that game. He was so impressive in that. He's one of the best tight ends in the NFL right now.
He sure is.
And he was like a 2- or a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. So we'll see.
Didn't seem like Luke Lachey had the kind of year I was hoping for.
No, well, the tight ends didn't.
They didn't.
But I think that's kind of a shift in emphasis. I think you saw a lot of Caleb running. They didn't need the tight. A lot of times they've used that tight end when they couldn't run the ball. Okay, instead of trying to grind for 8 or 12 yards, let's throw 2 or 3 short passes to tight ends to get those yards. They didn't have to do that as much this year because of Caleb. Yeah. That's my theory on it. Mm-hmm. No, Lachey did not have that great of a year. But we don't see the little things he does, the blocking and what have you. But no, the tight ends were not used as much this year, and it'll be interesting to see how that carries to spring and to next season.
Yeah, that sounds like a good spot to take a break.
9:40, break time.
And we will be back with more stuff.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember,
don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Harty and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
When someone is kind enough to share their time with us, we better make it worth their while.
They don't want to do people call it the game, right?
Patrick Gades and Terry Adams of Dairy Brothers Ford talk about what Here For You means to them.
You don't have to spend a half a day in our dealership to get that good competitive price. We just want to try to deliver that to you up front.
And that makes me feel good, makes me proud.
Because that's what people want. They want a fair, honest deal.
As far as the statement Here For You, we want to not just say it, but live it.
Find out what it means to you at Deary Ford in Iowa City.
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit Supple's.net or call them today at 319-337-2246. When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches, and special ribeye and shrimp nights. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, $20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at midtownfamily.com. The family's waiting for you.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching, and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top-level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Are you ready to live the life you've always imagined? Free yourself from household maintenance and chores and spend your time doing the things you enjoy at Walden Place Senior Living. Embrace first-class service, quality amenities, and engaging events and entertainment. If you have ever considered senior living, now is the time to plan. Schedule a tour at waldenplaceseniorliving.com or call 319-220-5491. That's 319-220-5491.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Dear U of I, just a note to let you know, if you're ever thinking about selling Kinnick Stadium or Carver Hawkeye Arena, please consider Hawkeye Title and Settlement. We're here to provide efficient, high-quality real estate title and closing services. Signed, Hawkeye Fan Forever, and send. Hi, this is Steve Anderson with Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Whether it's a large commercial property or if you're buying your first home, remember, we're here to help. Hawkeye Title and Settlement Services of Iowa City. You'll love our team just like you love the Hawks.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen, bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
So the holiday season is winding down, and you know what that means. The dreaded chore of taking down the outdoor Christmas lights. The cold, the wind, the tangled cords, the burned out light strands. You can't wait to just shove them into a box and worry about them next year. Wouldn't you rather leave those lights up and customize them for different holidays all year long? Well, now you can with Illumalight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illumilight provides illumination for every occasion, holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illumilight's app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illumilight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Alumilite's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
Hi, this is Jill Sterner with Sterner Taxidermy in Lone Tree. It's hunting season again, and I'm inviting all of you hunters to follow us on our Facebook page. You can view Dirk's award-winning artistry, his workmanship that he completes with each individual piece. We can be reached at 319-330-1774. Again, 319-330-1774.
Hi, this is Bill Leixnering from the Oxyoke Inn. The Oxyoke Inn is now serving daily. Our Oxyoke family is ready to serve you with the same quality of food and service you've come to trust since 1940. Now serving lunch, dinner, banquets, and carry-out daily with 4 portion sizes. Sundays featuring our famous brunch buffet. You can also order curbside carryout and pies to go online and take the comforting taste of the Oxyoke home to your family's table. Visit oxyokeinn.com for hours, menus, reservations, carryout, specials, and gift cards. From our Oxyoke family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon. Oxyoke Inn, in the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios, in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Iowa City weather. I'm Corey Hartman. For today, wind chill values remain around 0, even though we'll have sunshine and an air temperature around 25, a strong north wind. For tonight, mostly cloudy, lows around 12. Partly sunny with a high near 23 for Tuesday. Sunshine and 20 on your Wednesday. Mostly sunny, back to the mid-20s Thursday and 30 by Friday. That's weather on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now, it's 15.
KCJJ weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply, kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
Once again, here's the terror of the Iowa City school neighborhood.
It's Court Hill. Court Hill was my neighborhood.
Yeah, you were the terror.
I was the bully.
Kid Suter.
I was the bully. There was one guy that took lunch money from me a few times. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
It was a dick.
Why'd you give it to him?
He was like 3 times my size, and he had beat the snot out of me if I didn't, or at least that was the expectation.
Remember when Opie was being bullied by the kid taking the nickel from him every day?
Yeah.
Andy had him stand up to him. Got a black eye out of it, but he stood up to him. Should have stood up to him, Suter.
Nope. I think his name was
Karen.
Last name was
Kim.
His last name was Cannon, but I can't remember.
Diane.
I think not.
I don't know. I never had.
Let's move on from this topic.
I never had any problems.
You were just loved by everyone, right?
Everybody loved me.
Yep. Were you always small?
Huh?
Were you always small for your age?
Yeah.
That probably helped, too.
Yeah.
I was until between my sophomore and junior year.
Would you have a growth spurt?
Yep.
From what to what?
I was probably 5 foot to 5'11".
You grew a foot in a year?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did.
Well, so did my son.
Well, that happens a lot to athletes.
Shot up. My son's like 5'10" or 5'11".
I mean, you read. Michael Jordan had that huge growth spurt between his freshman sophomore year. Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and
Cannon and I are short, and then he just.
Well, how tall is he?
Probably 5'11", 5'10", 5'11".
I guess in your family that is tall.
Yeah.
In my family.
I topped out at 5'11 3/4".
That's about where I am, 5'11 3/4". My brother was 6'4".
I was shrinking.
My dad was about 5'11". So But no, that's makes a huge difference. I mean, we've talked to Haluska about it. If Adam Haluska was 6 feet tall, he probably wouldn't have been playing basketball. He even said he probably would have pursued track.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big part of it is winning that hereditary gene pool. To be able, if Michael Jordan was 6 foot, he probably wouldn't have been. He would have been great, but he wouldn't have been Michael Jordan.
Well, that's true.
I didn't realize you had such a did that hurt growing that fast? Did you have like shin splints or anything?
No.
Did you ever think about playing sports after that?
I was just relieved.
Did you ever think about playing sports after that? In high school?
Well, no. At that point, I mean, I played. I was a golfer.
Oh, you played on the high school golf team?
Yeah.
I was gonna. Okay.
So, but no, not. By then, I mean, I was 5'11", but I was also 140 pounds, 140, 45. So, not football material. Not fast enough for basketball.
How about baseball?
Baseball, yeah, I wasn't into. I mean, I was a.
You seem to be more into sports now than you were when you were a teenager. Is that fair to say?
As far as participating in them, I was more into it when I was a kid. I mean, I played.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of over 70, basketball leagues. I get that.
Yeah, but I mean.
But hell, I think you're probably more into sports now than I am. I mean, I make my living with it, but you're way more. You follow. I mean, the message board.
You know what?
I only follow it because I have to at this stage.
Honestly, I'm mostly into women's basketball. That's what I'm paying the most attention
you still
to.
I mean, you go
and
on the
football.
You go on the message boards every day looking for football stuff, don't you? You go a day without going on the message boards?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
but like right now. I'm interested because of seeing if that Gronowski's going to come here or not. That to me
so is that on your mind like 24/7 right now?
No. Jesus Christ.
There are some fans like that, wouldn't you say?
No, I'm not like that.
You think he's going to come here?
I don't know. Might.
Yeah, I haven't really heard. I know 2 of his teammates just committed to Northwestern.
Yeah.
And everyone's talking about Northwestern got a quarterback from SMU. Yeah, he's a backup.
Yeah.
They got a backup quarterback from SMU. So, yeah, I haven't heard much. I mean, haven't heard anything from him since he visited you. I haven't been looking. I've been busy. I mean, ESPN talked to him. They talked to him when he was here.
Uh-huh.
Pete Thamel did. That's the only one that I've seen actually talk to him because his quote was, just got off or something, just spoke when he's at Iowa right now is what Pete Thamel said last Friday. And because others said he was visiting like on Saturday or Sunday, but Thamel said he was in Iowa City on Friday.
The only thing that I heard that it's what I consider pretty solid was Brad got on and said that we made our pitch.
He wants money.
You bet.
I've heard at least $1 million is what I've heard.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I've heard he wants at least $1 million for 1 year.
But Brad said he came in expecting, that he was really going to go to the NFL for sure, but we gave him something to think about.
And we don't know what he's heard from NFL scouts yet.
No, we don't.
Because I don't think he's a high draft lock right now at this stage from what I've seen. I just don't see it.
Oh, I think you're exactly right.
He's too short. And the way he plays at South Dakota State, he couldn't play that way in the NFL. He'd get killed.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear that Bayless? CNN is talking about it.
New details into a bombshell lawsuit accusing Skip Bayless of sexual harassment and alleging his former employer, Fox Sports, fostered an environment that let it happen. A former hairstylist at the network is accusing Bayless of making repeated, unwanted advances, at one point even offering her $1.5 million to have sex with him and later threatening her job after she refused. CNN Chief Media Analyst Brian Stelter joins me now. Brian, this is some shocking stuff.
Yeah, Bayless was a prominent figure on ESPN for years, then on Fox Sports for 8 years. He left Fox Sports last year, now has a podcast. But Bayless is being accused here of sexual harassment and of a possible retaliation. This suit does also name Fox Sports and its parent company, Fox Corporation. There are some damning charges in this suit. However, Bayless and Fox have not yet responded, so this may take a while to play out. But you see on screen there some of the charges against him. Probably most shockingly, the idea that he was offered he offered $1.5 million to have sex with this woman. Those allegations are made in this filing that was filed on Friday. And as I said, Bayless has not yet commented, Jim.
And I did want to ask you, Brian, the Washington Post, turning the page to a different story in the media, is making some headlines for another controversy.
That's the cartoon there.
Yeah, that's the cartoon.
1.5 million.
I just find it hard to believe that.
I can't believe.
Do I think that there's maybe some I'm not saying stuff didn't happen.
Yeah.
I just don't believe that figure.
Well, I don't believe. Yeah, maybe.
And he is married. Not that it matters.
It might be 300,000.
I don't know. I don't know, but
200.
I mean,
is any sex worth 1.5 million?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Good Lord, no.
Hell?
No.
No.
But I don't know. It's we'll have to see how this unfolds. Obviously, he has not said anything. He's usually all over Twitter. He hasn't tweeted since yesterday. He tweeted about a football game, and underneath the comment about it is all just stuff on this. I mean, it's going to be – the thing is, though, even if he didn't do what he – this is going to be part of his legacy now.
Yeah, it is.
The damage is already done in a lot of ways. But it does – I mean, I don't know if this person would come out and just say this and make it all up. To me, isn't the truth usually somewhere in the middle?
Yeah.
And I think this could be another one of those. But, man, Fox News does seem to have –
I don't know.
Everyone's there. Is everyone there in heat?
Yes. They are, evidently. God. Evidently they are.
I mean, it's just crazy. I've never liked him. You guys have heard. He's a loudmouth.
I think he's ridiculous.
Blabbermouth, a sign of the times that someone like him could sign a $32 million contract to just go on TV and just blab.
No, I completely agree that he'd be stupid enough to make an offer like that.
Yeah,
not pay.
Well, then somebody posts right under the story, "Hey, Bayless, what about the homeless vets?" And I thought, Jesus.
Well, and the fact they said that he pressured her to threatened to fire. I just don't see that, but who knows?
I think that kind of stuff happens all the time.
Yeah, but I don't think Skip Bayless was in a position. I mean, I don't think he's firing people there.
No.
He's a talent. They pay him a lot of money to be a talent, but he's not part of the. I don't think he's part of the decision makers who decide people's employment.
But it just keeps coming out of there.
Oh yeah,
and it's ridiculous how much money they have paid out.
But someone looked up and said his net worth was like 8 to 10. So he's going to offer 1/4 of his net worth to have sex for however long.
As I said, I bet he wouldn't pay it.
Well,
then she'd accuse him of rape.
Yeah.
And then he's got a whole different charge.
What about? So now he's just doing a podcast. He's off there.
Yeah, he's been off Fox for a while. And I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, I think he has a podcast. I'm not sure. Everyone's he's got millions. You live in a big, huge, expensive house out in California, and you go a couple years without making much money, even if you're worth that can go like that. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Now, he is in his 70s. I mean, it's not. I mean, but
Skip Bayless?
I think he's right around 70, 71.
Really?
Yeah, I believe he is. I think he's maybe a little younger than you guys. But yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, well, that's not the kind of thing that I thought he would get linked to. I thought he'd get linked to saying something stupid about some athlete that pissed off some athlete. Because Skip's got his big thing is he worships like Tom Brady. He worships certain athletes and then despises other athletes. That everything he does is fed off a narrative that he either likes or dislikes. He hates this argument that Pat Mahomes is going to threaten Tom Brady as maybe being the greatest quarterback ever. So he always dismisses or downplays anything Patrick Mahomes does. So he's not, even though he claims to be the most objective guy in sports, he's not objective at all because everything he does is slanted towards feeding a particular narrative. But I mean, like I said,
if the Chiefs can keep their team together.
Well, and Mahomes isn't in the running for MVP this year, and he doesn't. He did not have as good a year as other quarterbacks. But if he ends up winning another Super Bowl, what's he going to care? That would be 3 Super Bowls in a row, 4 in the last 7. I mean, yeah, but
bad.
That's what Skip's big thing is. He hates LeBron James.
Here's Bayless accuses her of having sex with Shannon Sharp. He made another advance.
Accuses who? The hairdresser?
Yes. Yeah. And she said, "Will you, Skip, stop it? You have a wife." He responded, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives?"
I mean, if Shannon Sharp that's their business. If they had.
Well, I'm not giving her name.
I don't know what Shannon Sharp's marital status is, but if he's single, that's their business. I don't care if they.
It's just
ridiculous. Who cares?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of people do. It'll be headlines for the next until we get some resolution on it.
The resolution.
No, I mean, who cares if she had sex with Shannon Sharp?
Who cares about that? I don't get why that's... And if he's married and is cheating on his wife, that's their problem.
Yeah.
But Skip Bayless is married, that doesn't seem to matter much anymore these days. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the fact that he hasn't been on Twitter yet today, that's pretty telling. I'm sure his lawyers are telling him to shut up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and...
I
wonder if that
I
means
didn't have to go to law school.
Now, he could tweet about other things. I mean, he could tweet about sports, but maybe they'll... The problem is if he tweets about anything right now, the comments are all going to be about this, and rightfully so, because Twitter's a cesspool, but, he's put himself in this position. So somebody's going to be getting some money out of this. The hairdresser's going to be getting some money, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Oh, yeah, they'll settle.
Skip's going to give her a bunch of money to have her go away.
Fox will settle.
She'll probably get $1.5 million and didn't have to have sex with you.
Yeah.
But won't some of this some of it'll come out of Skip's pocket too, I bet, too.
Probably, but I mean Fox,
but the Joy Taylor
Fox
thing's a whole different thing. That's a
I don't know who Joy Taylor is.
She's a studio host for Fox, and there's some wild... You've seen that stuff, haven't you? Google Joy Taylor and see what comes up. She's the younger sister of former NFL All-Pro Jason Taylor. She's a studio host for Fox, and there's some wild allegations about her, too, about how she rose in her profession, so to speak. But it's all part of this lawsuit, which just came out. Did it come out yesterday?
That's the first I saw.
Yeah.
Is it me, or do most lawsuits come out on a Sunday, or does it matter?
Probably was discovered on a Sunday. No, I'm sure it was last week. She used sexual relationships with ex-NFL star Emmanuel Acho and network executive Charlie Dixon.
Yeah, there's
sex with... Jesus. There
was less sex at Woodstock.
Seriously, in that building in New York, there's just...
It's like Studio 54.
What the hell?
Yeah, you're right. They'll just pay a bunch of money and just move on, just like they did with the election. What they pay, $785 million, just under $1 billion, and it's just business as usual. But this one's interesting because it involves sports.
Yeah.
So, but we're here with our Hawkeyes, where everything's safe and sound and pure and solid, right, Captain? Pure and solid, wouldn't you say?
Hunter's offered me money for sex, but
how much?
$1.25.
Yeah. Change for the pop.
I was going to say, if
an auction item.
If it's enough.
Yeah, I'll give him. He wanted an auction item.
If he offered you $1.5 million,
God, for a second, I thought Suter was ready to offer himself for sex to Hunter if it's enough money.
Not me.
Who are you going to offer up?
I'm not going to offer anybody
up. Don't.
I was wait. Where are you going with this? Back to the Hawks.
Yeah.
So, are you confident about tomorrow, Nebraska?
No.
Are you more confident about tomorrow than you were about last night? Because you were not confident about
the same.
About the same? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little more confident for the men. I don't know why. I'm just not convinced about Nebraska. But I did just watch Nebraska beat convincingly a nationally ranked UCLA team.
Yes.
I mean, they were the better team. UCLA didn't look very good at all.
No.
Did you watch any of it? But no, Nebraska looked pretty good. And I think they're 2-1 in the conference. I did watch Indiana. Penn State had a good game yesterday. It was at the Palestra in Philadelphia, and Indiana won. I mean, I'll give them credit. They won without one of their best players, and the big transfer from Arizona was unstoppable. Last I looked, he had like 25 and 12, and
Indiana.
That was a big win for them. And I think they're 3-1 now because I still think Penn State's pretty good. I mean, Penn State, they're 2-2 in conference play, but.
So what you just said is our next two opponent for the men both had big wins.
Yes, yeah, it is. It's Indiana here and then at Penn State, or is it the other way around?
We host Indiana on Saturday, and we host Nebraska Tuesday.
Okay, what about after? I knew that Nebraska's tomorrow. Then Indiana Saturday. Well, you said Penn State. So what do you mean by their?
No, what I meant was Indiana had a big win and Nebraska had a big win.
Oh, okay. And then who's after Nebraska?
After Nebraska, okay, we've got Nebraska, Indiana, at USC, at UCLA. Oh boy, USC's not very good.
USC's not very good, but but a lot of people would say the same thing about Iowa right now.
Well, and yeah, well, we're not very good. We sure weren't the last game.
So yeah, they a huge game tomorrow. I mean, because Indiana is good. I don't know if they're going to have their other the power forward was out last night. Ledoux or whatever his name. He's been there. He's been with them for a couple of years now. He wasn't playing. I'm not sure what his status is, but no, it was a nice win for Indiana because Penn State's good. Penn State really pressures you on defense. They're athletic. That place was packed. I like when they play those games at the Palestra. I think it's neat. And it was a nice win for Indiana to get a road win like that. So yeah, I mean, plenty of opportunities coming up, but the risk with those is there's also opportunities to lose.
We could lose the next 4.
You imagine if they imagine what if they're on a 5-game losing streak, what it would be like.
I can't even imagine. Because Fran's teams generally don't.
Other than the one year where they went 14-19 after he rebuilt, they usually don't. They're kind of like Kirk. They usually find a way to persevere and avoid being bad.
I think it's more likely we go 2-2 than 0-4. But
yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, you just better avoid 1-3 or 0-4.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, let's say they go 1-3 and their 1 wins at USC. Well, that ain't good because that means they lost at home to Nebraska and Indiana. You got to protect the home court. They got to win these home games because I do think they're going to find it really hard to win on the road. As usual, that's hardly any revelation, but that just puts even more pressure on winning at home. Get as many wins as you can at home because you got to stay close to 500 because I just don't think 9-11 or 8-10 is going to get you in this year.
No.
And 10-10 may be a crapshoot. I think 11-9 you're in. 10-10, I think you go to the tournament having to win 1 or 2 games, and that's a lot of pressure.
Do you think they'll make it?
10-10, I'm not.
I mean, do you think we'll first off make it to 10-10?
No, I'm not convinced of that right now.
Yeah.
I'm 1-2 right now. I mean, yeah, I'm not convinced of that right now. Do I think they're going to go 3-7? No, I don't think they're going to have a complete unraveling. No, I'm just not convinced. I mean, to go 10-10, they have to play above 500 for the rest of the way in conference play. Already, you have to say that.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, no, I'm not ready to go there yet. Are you convinced they're going to go 10-10?
I mean, Fran's track record says they probably will find a way, but no, I'm not convinced at all. I mean, I'm not convinced of anything after that Wisconsin game. I know it was ridiculous and out of the norm and all that, but it's still the taste that I have in my mouth.
See, my over-under for men wins is like 9 or 10 in conference play. What's yours for women in conference play?
Out of 8,
they've got 14 left.
I would say 10.
So you think 10-8? If they go 10-8, they'll be in the tournament.
Yeah.
I know some fans will be disappointed because you lose 8 conference games after having Caitlin Clark on your team for 4 years. But 10-8 in the grand scheme of things would not be that bad under the circumstances.
No, I think they'll make the NCAA.
If she gets this team in the NCAA tournament, I think she's done fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Because as great as Lisa was, they were not going to go 16-2 with Lisa Bluter as their head coach this year. She'd be the first to tell you that.
No.
They weren't going to do that. So what Jan needs to avoid is not making the tournament. You know, she needs to avoid an 8-10, 7-11. That would be a significant step back, and I don't think that's going to happen. If it does, you deal with it.
Yeah.
Your life goes on, you move on, you deal with it, you learn from it. I don't think that will happen, but that's why you got to win games like the game at Illinois coming up.
Mm-hmm.
The games at Illinois, games like that aren't easy winning on the road. That's the difference between going maybe 11-7 as opposed to 8-10 or whatever, you know.
So the next 4 for the women, and you know it's tall orders.
Let's see, they're 2-2 right now.
At Illinois,
I'm going to give them that one.
Indiana here, Indiana's
I'm going to give them that one. They're good, but they're not great, though.
No, they're not great.
They're kind of like Iowa.
I would say, yeah.
They've lost some of their key personnel.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm giving that one here.
Nebraska.
Here?
Yes.
God, when do they go on the road again?
Following the Nebraska game. So we have 2 straight at home. So, I mean, we are at Illinois on the 9th.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then Indiana, Nebraska.
They got to go at least 2 out of 3, 2 for 1 for those, 2 and 1 in those 3. I think they're going to do that at least. But I could see them winning all 3 of those.
But then after that, they go at Oregon and at Washington, and Washington's not all that.
No, but I think they'll lose at least one of those. And I think they'll probably lose both home games to USC and UCLA. So then you're looking right there. That's already 1, 2, 3. That's 5 losses right there.
Uh-huh. At Ohio State's going to be awfully tough.
My guess is that's a game they'll lose. Just like I picked them to win those at home, I picked them to lose at Ohio State. So that would be 6 losses under my predictions. What else?
Other away games at Michigan on the 26th of February.
That's going to be tough.
At Nebraska is going to be tough.
I have picked them to lose at least one of those, so there's 7 losses under my predictions.
At Minnesota will be tough.
Are they pretty good now?
They're better.
Are they? Okay.
They're better. I mean, that's a game I still would expect.
I'd give them a chance in that one,
yeah.
I'm not ready to just dismiss that as a loss.
And then we play Northwestern at home.
They'll win that.
Rutgers at home. Those
They'll
are
win
2
that.
games we'll win.
So I easily, though, without much hesitation, pick 7 losses. So
and then our last game is Wisconsin at home.
They'll win that. But if they go 11-7, they're in the tournament.
Oh, for sure.
And that's a pretty good year.
Yeah.
I think, if you just look at it realistically. Yeah. So we'll see. I'll tell you, that arena was rocking last night. But, man, I saw this poor lady. She had a cane, and she was going up the steps, and she was taking break. And she took a break. She's like, "I'll make it." And I was just like, man, what a weird setup. She was going all the way up the steps, and it had to have taken her 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But what else do you do?
That's all you can do in that place.
It really is. They don't have near enough. Like, when you need to go to the restroom, do you go down or do you go up?
I try to.
Do you ever go to the tunnel?
I try to plan it where I don't ever go to the restroom
That's what
during
I do.
the game.
Yeah, luckily enough, my bowels are still functioning enough to where I can do that.
What do you look at me for? Mine was working.
Well, just because I either look at you or him. What do you want me to look at the door?
No, I'm just, you looked at me like, hey, old man.
No, I think you're reading into it. I don't have my glasses on either.
No, I make sure I pee before I leave the house, and then I don't have to go again until I get back home or.
Well, obviously there's a lot of, because like last night the line outside the bathroom in the tunnel there was a constant line throughout the game, men and women, to use that one bathroom. They have the one bathroom in the tunnel there, right where the teams come in and out of, and then all the other ones are up on the concourse.
That's where they sell the secret ice cream.
Well, the line for cones last night.
Ice cream is good.
I mean, I counted at least 70 people waiting in line for the cones last night. It just went forever.
Then when we got there, it wasn't that bad. I mean, we didn't get one, but there I would say 30.
30, but still
30.
But
that's a lot.
Think about waiting for 30 people to get an ice cream. I don't think I've ever had their cones.
Oh, they're real good.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine having ice cream cones that weren't good, like a soft cone served that wasn't good?
I've had ice cream.
I've never really had.
I mean, as far as value goes for the food in the arena, the ice cream is
how much is a cone?
Like $5.65 or something like that.
God, that is a good deal.
It is comparatively, it's a great deal.
Yeah, because like a bottle of water is like $8, isn't it?
There's $6, but it's in the same. But it's in that price range, whereas we each get a swarm, and it's with tip, it's $30.
What about the tenderloin?
Tenderloins are like $8.
$8, and then the tenderloin with fries is like $12.
Something like
that.
I mean, it's not a good deal, but it's.
I mean, you're at a game. The problem with the fries, those are usually cold and stale because they're sitting out. It's hard to keep them fresh and something like that.
Yeah, but that's a lot of the fast food places too.
Yeah, I don't.
Cold.
Can't remember the last time I ate fast food. Seriously, it's been I just kind of quit doing it. I didn't. It's not like I made some.
We had Krakens 2 nights ago.
I don't consider that fast food.
No, it is.
Well, no, I guess it isn't. I mean, tenderloins no, because there's so many restaurants that serve them. No, I guess it isn't really fast food. Although you get the food fast.
Yeah. But they still pretty much make it fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's they do. God. And it's good.
I haven't been there for a while.
Hot dogs are great. I love their hot dogs.
Yeah, I'm not a hot dog fan.
I'm not either.
I mean, I'll eat them if it's a Chicago dog. You put enough crap on them to make it to where you don't know you're eating a nasty hot dog.
Jesus.
I just don't like hot dogs, really.
I like
Not really. And I really don't like fat hot dogs.
Oh, I love their quarter-pound hot dogs. Are great.
I mean, if you put enough chili and cheese and onion on a hot dog, I'll eat it.
Minus the onion, chili, cheese, I'd fight through that.
Then I can do it. Or, like, I love Chicago dogs with the spicy peppers and stuff on there.
Yeah, I know.
But no, their tenderloins are great. I'm hungry now. I'm really hungry.
Yeah, that's what I had. I hadn't had a tenderloin for a while.
I haven't had one of those. I haven't seen Ray in ages. I'll go up there maybe sometime this week and say hi to Ray. I haven't seen Ray in a while.
But I gave Molly some of my fries, but eating a Kraken's tenderloin and fries is a tall order.
It is, and that'll fill you up almost for the day.
That is a tall
Their fries
order.
are hot.
Yeah, the fries are good.
Yeah,
the fries are good. The fries remind me of Five Guys, because Five Guys fries are good. They're just damn expensive. I think Five Guys fries are like $5 by themselves.
Skip Bayless told him he'd pay $30 for them.
For fries? If they had sex with him? If the fry chef had sex with him?
Jesus.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Skip survives this one. You know, because he really isn't doing much in media right now. He doesn't have a show on Fox anymore. He's just on Twitter and
YouTube.
And yeah, he does have millions of followers. And I'm guessing he's probably still making a decent amount of money on YouTube if he's got that many followers. And hell, in some warped way, this might help him. As weird as we are as a society.
As sad as that is.
It might help him with some people. Might make him more intriguing. This is where I got to keep talking when you guys are looking stuff up.
Well, I was looking to see how many followers he's got on YouTube.
Well, his one show had 43 million, but that show is no more.
He's got, as far as subscribers,
he's got 3.5 million followers on Twitter.
Yeah, on YouTube, he's got 194,000 subscribers. That doesn't mean
that's a decent amount of subscribers.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a lot of subscribers.
You know that.
I could not imagine subscribing to Skip Bayless's YouTube. Listen to that loudmouth every day.
I wouldn't do no.
I mean, he's anti-LeBron James because people consider LeBron James to be a threat to Michael Jordan's title as the greatest player ever, and Skip worships Michael Jordan. So he's constantly tearing down or minimizing anything that LeBron James does so he can keep Michael Jordan. That's all he does. Everything he does is fed off some type of prejudice.
I saw Skip Bayless one time. We were in Las Vegas, and they in one of the sports bars, and they had, a 30-foot by 30-foot big screen. Yeah. And it was him and maybe, who was this, Shannon Sharp? Or?
Was he working for Fox or ESPN then? How long ago was this?
I don't know, 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years?
I think that was probably ESPN.
Probably, okay. But whoever his partner was, they were just screaming at each other.
That's what they do.
And I watched that for 30 seconds, and I said, why would anybody watch this for any reason? Why would you want to watch
I'm with you on it, man, but they do, Tom, because look how much money the guys are making.
I know, but I don't get it.
But look at Stephen A. Smith. I think
It might have been.
Did I read where Stephen A. Smith is making like $20 million a year?
Yeah.
And all he does is just go on TV and yell and scream and argue, and but that's what people like. I mean, more power to him.
It's not what this guy likes. But
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So yeah, I don't know.
Well, now a lot of this stuff, especially on radio, is sports betting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People listen to get the tips. And yeah, I as a kid, I was seduced a very little bit by sports betting because it was illegal. And I knew some people who, would get you parlay cards and stuff. And it was interesting. But
my former partner, the other station, was in this sports betting.
But yeah, I learned a long time ago not to do it.
Me too. I mean, I have a lot of friends that enjoy it, and hey, more power to them as long as it doesn't, take over their lives and they can figure out a way to balance it. But
if you make a bunch of little teeny bets, I suppose that's one thing, but I didn't do that. I looked at a thing and thinking, well, Purdue is going to beat Indiana State. It's only a 1.5 point spread. They're going to beat them by 30. Well, they didn't.
Yeah, it's hard to justify it because look at Las Vegas. If gamblers won, Las Vegas would still be a little tiny town in the middle of nowhere.
Well, yeah.
But some people are better at it, and some. I mean, if you enjoy it, I know some people that enjoy it, and they claim they don't let it. They say they put a little money away each month, and that's kind of their play, money, and gambling is sort of their hobby.
It's
that's
entertainment.
As long as you can keep it under control, hey,
And we go,
that's your business.
Generally go once a week or every 2 weeks down to Riverside.
Yeah, and as long as you don't let it. And don't you guys have kind of a budget you try to stick to?
Absolutely.
Now, unfortunately, some people can't do that. Some people can't control themselves, just like with alcohol and drugs. And that we're going to find out that gambling causes cancer. That'll be the next thing we find out.
Everything causes cancer.
And spending $1.5 million for sex it turns out that's not a good idea.
Why isn't that a good idea?
Yeah, I wonder where. Yeah, that's
what the hell? It's so ridiculous that it's probably true.
Yeah, I'm not ready to go there. I think it's in the middle somewhere.
I'm there 100%.
I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I don't think he offered her 1.5.
But
what do I know? But I bet he was probably harassing her.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's going to come back and deny it or say that he didn't think what he was doing was it'll become a he said she said like they all do.
That's what they all do.
And then she'll get a payout.
My guess is she'll get something from him and from Fox.
Yeah.
They'll pay her to go away.
And I'll bet she ends up getting more money than $1.5 million since she doesn't have to have sex with the guy. So.
Yeah. So she wins in both ways.
Yeah.
She gets her money and doesn't have to have sex with a guy who's, I'm guessing she's probably in her 20s. He's probably 50 years older than her.
Well, probably.
I'm guessing she's in her 20s or 30s.
I don't know. Well, I think she must be in her 30s. She's worked there a long time. So,
yeah. Meow.
Have we covered everything? Like I said, the only portal news was the addition from South Dakota State, Bryce Hawthorne. That receiver that was down to 3, Rob told me he's now visiting USC. That's Sam Phillips, the guy from Chattanooga.
And I saw somewhere where he did not make that trip, but that he was going to. He was scheduled.
So obviously he's still he wants either more money or he's trying to find
something.
Or there's something from keeping him from committing to the 3 schools that he visited. And
yes.
I don't know if Iowa has moved on from him. But now it'll be interesting too. Let's say Iowa does get Gradowski, and there's rumors that they paid at least $1 million. You think Sullivan stays here?
I think he might. I don't know. He might battle during the spring to see if he can win the job, and then if he doesn't,
probably
he's got
go to
a decision to make.
Then I could see him if he loses the job. I don't think there's going to be a lot of power forward line, and my guess is he may have to do a MAC type route.
Yeah, maybe so.
The loser of that, and Gronowski has not eliminated the NFL yet. That's still one.
No.
Well, when I heard him do it, the only interview I heard, he did a podcast with a South Dakota Sioux Falls radio station shortly after entering the portal, and it was on Twitter. And this radio guy was bringing it too. He made it seem pretty obvious that his number one goal is to go to the NFL.
Sure,
that's what he wants to do. But I think it's all going to be based on what he hears. And at that time, I don't think he had heard anything. By now, I'm guessing he's probably got some feedback. So he may come out here in the next day or two and commit to Iowa, commit to Wisconsin.
And he might.
Or he may come out and say, no, I'm going to the NFL.
Yes.
I have a feeling it's going to be stay in college because there's a guarantee of $1 million there, whereas there's not in the NFL. I think he plays in college somewhere. And he also could be waiting to see if he can get – I mean, there's talk. You said that he visited Wisconsin on the Thursday prior. I haven't seen anything to confirm that. Was that on the message board?
That was, but it was somebody who's generally.
I just wonder why nobody's reported on it. None of the portal guys.
Maybe it didn't matter enough to them to.
Well, why would they report on him visiting Iowa but not Wisconsin?
Because ours is an official. Full-blown visit.
How do you know?
Don't think Wisconsin. Well, what I
saw.
If
he's on campus at Wisconsin, that's news just as much as if he's on campus at Iowa. Yeah. So I'm doubting maybe he didn't visit.
Maybe
Wisconsin.
he didn't. I don't know.
So there's just so much misinformation out there. I don't know of any other school besides Iowa that he has visited based on what the portal guys are saying. Do you?
No. No.
And he could also easily visit Northwestern on his own. You know, I mean, he's from the suburbs. I'm going to see. Let me look at those portal guys, see if they've.
I haven't seen. No, I haven't. He got in the portal and then almost immediately took, scheduled a visit at Iowa. So,
Yeah,
no, I don't believe. At least I haven't seen, other than the statement about him being at Wisconsin, I haven't seen that he visited anybody else.
I haven't either, which makes me wonder if maybe he is hearing what he wants to hear from the NFL.
Well, maybe he is, or that Iowa gave him something to think about, to really think about.
And the Wisconsin, Tyler Van Dyke is visiting SMU, so he's obviously got another year left, and he's obviously thinking about leaving Wisconsin.
And Wisconsin got Maryland's quarterback. What's
Billy
his
Edwards.
name? Billy Edwards, that's right.
Yeah, I'm just looking down the list to see if there's anything. God, there's a Bill Belichick. There's pictures now of Bill Belichick with high school recruits, and that's just bizarre.
Paying Bill Belichick $10 million a year, and what did they guarantee him? 3 years?
Think about that, $30 million just for that. I'm not sure if it's going to work there, but we'll see. I mean,
well, you do wonder, don't you?
Yeah, that USC receiver, Zachariah Branch. I had some Iowa fans reach out wondering if they had any chance, and I'm like, no, they have absolutely no. Where's he going? Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these guys are going from one blue blood to another.
Absolutely.
That's what they're doing.
And they're getting a bag of money to do it.
Yes. It's big stage and big money. That's what's pushing a lot of this stuff. No, I'm not seeing anything up to date from anything Iowa related. Nothing from Pete Nichols here in the last few. So wow. Kentucky quarterback Gavin Wimsatt, who used to be the Rutgers quarterback, just signed with Jacksonville State.
Wow.
It's wild to see how some of these things unfold.
Have you heard anything about Cade McNamara?
I have not. Somebody asked me that, and let me see. I'm gonna see if I put something on Twitter, see if anything comes up. Somebody said that the last they had heard that he was mulling over his options, which that could mean a lot of different things.
That could mean anything. But I don't know what
I called it up, and it's just nasty.
He's got no chance of making the NFL. I don't believe
nasty, mean stuff. Here's one he's scheduled a visit to his grandmother's house. Just petty.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe Grandma offered him $500K to visit me.
Here's another one. Developing story. Former Iowa and Michigan quarterback Cade McNamara is showing interest in South Carolina as his new home. However, South Carolina is showing no interest in him. Just stupid, petty stuff. Like that's all that's coming up from what I see.
I haven't heard squat.
No, I really haven't.
But I would be surprised if any
power forward. I would be stunned, unless maybe Nevada's not power 4. Maybe Nevada, but I'm only saying that because I've been told that his dad has some pull there. It is his home state school. They are not a juggernaut by any means, but I think Nevada can do much better than Cade McNamara quarterback. At least the Cade McNamara we saw.
The Cade McNamara we saw isn't going to do much of anybody any good.
I wouldn't want the Cade if I was Northern Iowa, I wouldn't want that Cade McNamara. Would you?
No.
No, I wouldn't want that Cade McNamara. He couldn't play at Northern Iowa.
Michigan, Cade McNamara could play a lot of places. Iowa, Cade McNamara is going to go way down.
And Michigan, Cade McNamara, even when healthy, was still never a great quarterback. Michigan, Cade McNamara, when healthy, was very fortunate to be in a good situation.
For sure.
Now, in fairness, did take advantage of it.
Yes, he did.
Did play well. Give him that. But he had great stuff working around him. But then 2 knee surgeries, that's just hard to overcome.
Well, and he didn't here.
No, and like I said, we're going to have Don on next Monday. I'll reach out to Adam today to see about either Wednesday or Friday to see if we can fit him in to talk some hoops, because then at least we'll have a couple games under our belt and the women to talk about. And because the women are at Illinois on Thursday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What time's that game start? And is it?
That is a 6:00 game on BTN Plus.
God, almost all their games. I mean, it's just ridiculous. How many of their games are on BTN
Well,
Plus?
how about the tomorrow night's game or Nebraska game? The man is on Peacock.
I have Peacock.
And let's see, the Indiana game with the men is Fox or FS1, but the women's game against Indiana is also on Peacock. So, the point being is if you don't have Peacock, you don't see it. If you don't have BTN Plus, you don't see it.
weren't a lot of Caitlin's games on Peacock?
A few.
Yeah.
It's just the world we live in.
Yeah.
But I have it. I hardly ever watch it.
But that's professional.
Yeah.
BTN Plus is far from professional.
Oh, no, Peacock's fine.
Yeah.
Yes,
no,
it is.
BTN Plus isn't it like $15 a month?
It's,
or $12.99?
Yes, it's so poorly done.
Yeah. We've got more camera movement on this podcast right now on YouTube than they have on some games.
It's wild that they can't.
Isn't that true?
Isn't it weird that they can't make it better in this day and age, knowing that so many things are on there? You'd think it would be better.
When Fox owns it, and when Fox
then they'll just start having
paying
sex.
all this money for
sex.
Oh, their sex channel is
they're sexting.
You got every position. Hello.
I'm not sure if it's been mentioned before, but yeah, it's not live, and I finally canceled BTN Plus. But 2-3 hours later, I ended up just going to YouTube and watching it on YouTube, and they cut out all the commercials in the halftime.
Yep.
It's like 47 minutes or something. You get to watch the whole game.
What, after it's over?
Yeah, after it's over, I just go over to YouTube.
Sometimes during it.
Actually, I did that with the last. I did that with the last game, and it was like an hour and 3 minutes or something like that.
I watched it live on
Wow.
YouTube. It was live
on YouTube.
Yeah, because I saw on Facebook somebody said on Facebook, "Hey, they're broadcasting it on YouTube right now," and I went there and it was live.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, there you
Good
go.
to know.
Yeah, and then I just use credentials for Peacock from someone else. But
Well, that is illegal, and being a licensed broadcaster, we're very upset with you.
F-bomb.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Hello.
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 Hey, I was just going to call and say that somebody's broadcasting the game over YouTube.
Yeah, live.
It looks like it's pirated because about every 45 seconds to a minute you get a thing, something about the voice, whatever is not compatible or whatever. The game's there, and it sounds like two young guys doing the play-by-play.
Wow, and I don't think that's what Steve's talking about.
Well, if it's on BTN, sometimes their voices aren't in sync either.
Well, no, this was on YouTube.
Yeah, but somebody's taking it off of BTN Plus.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Somebody's snagging it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, take care.
Thanks, Mikey.
Yeah. No, it says BTN Plus on it when you watch it on YouTube. No, somebody's just taking it off and rebroadcasting it.
Yeah, whatever.
Is that legal?
No.
No.
Will they eventually get caught?
No. I don't know. Probably not.
Okay. All right. Well, anything else?
There's a lot of stuff on the internet. I don't know if they'll get caught or not.
The interwebs.
Yeah.
All right. No, I don't have anything else. We'll do this again on Wednesday. And
yeah, like I said, I'm going to reach out to Adam about trying to get Adam on Wednesday or Friday, and then we do definitely have Don on next Monday for Iowa season recap, and he'll look ahead to the net. By then, we'll know who's playing in the national championship game.
Yeah.
Because aren't the games Thursday and Friday?
I believe.
I thought one of the games was Thursday. Is it Notre Dame, Penn State Thursday?
Let me see if I have the dates. I think I do. Penn State and Notre Dame is Thursday, January 9th at 6:30 our time.
Okay.
Then Texas Ohio State is Friday at 6:30 our time.
So we'll have both those games to talk about. Plus, we can preview the national championship, and then of course we're gonna, we'll have Don kind of give his final thoughts on Iowa's 2024 season and what he thinks going into spring ball. So we'll cover a lot of different stuff.
Wednesday when we're here, we're going to talk about the Iowa-Nebraska men's basketball game.
Hopefully a win.
Probably, or maybe the Gronowski conundrum will be solved.
Yeah, I no, like I said, I've not seen hardly any updates on him, and I'm not seeing hardly anyone. Nobody talked to him.
Well, I mean, the information I got was from Brad, and that's the only.
But yeah, like I said, I have not seen an article where he's quoted in an article.
No.
And the only interview I've seen is from the guy up at the Sioux Falls radio station.
Well, and that I hadn't heard about either.
I just saw it on Twitter. They had him on, and that was right after he had entered the portal. He hadn't even. I don't even know if he had set up his visit to Iowa yet. He made it obvious he's going to check his options, and he did say that money would be a factor, but he also said, I mean, he made it obvious that if he had his way, he'd be going to the NFL. But I think at that point he still hadn't heard. He may still be waiting for more feedback, too. That's, we don't know.
Yeah.
Because he's doing this all behind the scenes. And, hey, I would do it behind the scenes too. You don't need to air all this stuff.
No.
You don't need to know everything that's going on. Sooner or later, we'll get resolution, and life will go on, whether he comes here or not. I don't have a feeling either way. I'm 50-50. I wouldn't be surprised if he picked up, because, like I said, I don't know how many other schools are involved with him right now. He's not going to go join his coach out at Washington State, I don't believe.
No, I don't think so.
Northwestern's the only other one. I mean, like I said, that receiver, their All-American receiver that had like 1,200 receivers, he committed to Northwestern.
Yeah, was that Wild or whatever?
Wild, and they're Garrett Wild, I believe, and then their All-American offensive lineman also is going to Northwestern. So, maybe this is him.
Hello?
Hey, I was just wanting to know if you guys are going to talk about Cam Miller tonight for the North Dakota game. See if I like the way you guys break games down, and he plays tonight. I think there's some City High kids on that team too.
That's tonight?
Thanks.
The national championship. It's tonight.
Hey,
I don't know.
That's what that guy just said. I don't know.
I didn't realize the national championship game was tonight. Well, yeah, if it's on, I'll watch it. And we've talked about Cam Miller a lot. He's had a great year. I'll tell you, if he had another year left, Iowa fans would love Cam Miller coming back.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they would love to have him back. And I watched him and Gronowski both play in that game, and I thought they were both impressive. But I was actually more impressed with Cam Miller than I was Gronowski in their most recent game.
Yeah. Just got some sad news from Sugar Ray saying that friend of ours, friend of mine, Denny Cordell, passed away last night. And he's a family friend. My dad and his dad were best friends.
Sorry to hear that.
And he's the last surviving member of the family, and now he's not surviving. So, very sorry to hear that. Yeah.
And on a down note, Captain.
Yep. On a down note.
I'm looking at you now.
Yes, I'm supposed to recover from that.
You're supposed to help us.
Yeah.
You're supposed to help us when we're down.
Sucks. No,
I saw Denny just about every day at the JNS.
What wasn't he?
Oh, he's one of the guys that hangs up there with Gatons and them?
No, but he was there most every.
But did he come to our tailgates?
No.
I wonder if he's one of these guys. If I saw him, I know who he is.
When we were in the West?
Because the name does not ring a bell.
Okay.
No thoughts and prayers to his family. Sorry to hear that.
Okay. Well, anyway, so thank you, Sugar Ray, for that information. And let's see, next up, we've got Molly.
Did I hear it's going to be 30 this weekend? Up to 30 degrees again this weekend?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be 25 today, but the winds are going to knock it down to feel like.
But hey, could be a lot worse, man.
It sure could.
I know people in Kansas City, they got slammed.
Well, below Burlington, a ton of snow.
We lucked out again.
Yeah.
Okay, so Molly Suter is next. HawkFanatic.com. Check it out. It is free.
KCJ.